Yeah. This is a podcast of Nathan, Nat and Sean.
Let's go.
Hey, Sean, how good was it this morning hanging out with this girl? Hello.
Hello.
T-Vo. Tracey Vo with us all morning.
Fun for a hump day.
Bloody oath. It was good fun. Trace, one thing that you enjoyed was the World Cup, and we caught up with Robbie Slater to have a chat about the Socceroos
It's great.
today.
He was pretty brutal about the Socceroos, wasn't he?
Tracy and Sean are lactose intolerant, so I decided to give them a wonderful treat that repeated on them all morning.
And I was in the toilet for half an hour.
She was.
That was when we spoke to Alison Fan.
I know. She came back afterwards and goes, I just gave birth to a Grogan. Oh, you're a mother. Tracy and I talk about a bit of an issue that we had with the Rise Up Celebrity Gala dinner, and then speak to people that were the wrong size for a particular job.
They were good stories, actually. And double whammies when you may have injured yourself twice. In some circumstances, these stories 3 times in a row.
Triple whammies.
Yep.
Pretty brutal.
This is Nathan, Nat and Sean.
There is a true crime documentary. It's Claremont, A Killer Among Us. And it is going to touch a lot of people here in Perth because we lived right through this.
Yeah, on Channel 10, of course. Alison Fan, well, she has been across some of the biggest stories ever happening in WA, and she joins us now. Hi, Alison.
Hi, guys.
Oh, Alison, this changed the way that we all lived in Perth, didn't it?
It totally did, and it's still drawing worldwide interest from all the expats who were perhaps pulled in and questioned, who drove a white van, who lived in the area. It's quite mind-boggling the way that, we found that out with our podcast, 7 million downloads, and most of them are all from overseas, because everyone was involved in this particular case, because not only the ones who lived in the area, but everybody who clubbed or gone, everybody knows where Claremont is. So that was, and it wasn't a high crime area. These girls, you say, disappeared from the most conservative, probably wealthiest areas in WA, if not Australia.
Yeah, you're right, Alison. One of the things that struck me, many years ago is when we had a visitor come over from Germany who ended up staying with us, and one thing as her family knew about was the Claremont serial killer. So, she was quite worried when she came here, or she was told by her aunties in particular, just be careful, all this kind of stuff.
Especially because it seemed to have been it was a profile of a young girl with blonde hair, and that's sort of what everyone was warned about at the time, Alison.
And, of course, nobody, with a serial killer, it's random, so everybody's involved. And nobody knew how it happened, where it exactly happened, because these 3 just disappeared. No, there were no eyewitnesses. And so that's why I think anything to do with a serial killer draws more interest, because with most murders, it's only a handful of family and friends of the victim and the perpetrator that become drawn into it, whereas this one involved, 20,000 taxi drivers.
Oh, yeah,
everyone was a suspect. Anybody that drove a white van.
Everyone was getting DNA sampled, all that sort of...
Well, there's cameras out the front of the Claremont Hotel who were able to spot any car that went past at, this particular time. So all those people who were driving in and around that area, they were getting...
And it was horrible for I remember it was horrible for the taxi industry, Alison, because everyone was frightened of getting into a cab at the time too. Remember that?
I totally do, because they said it... Well, what it sort of really bugs me is the whole thing is that the police knew that it was a white van, and they knew that it had some sort of logo, which is why the taxi drivers came under suspicion. Now, if only they'd put that out, that it had some sort of logo, it might have prevented others from getting into a van. I mean, you see a Telstra van, you probably think, it's safe, a guy on his work home, and that. And I think possibly that should have been put out, because certainly the rape victim from Karrakatta had identified a white van with a logo, some sort of logo on the side. But of course, as you say, everybody that drove a white van, or the taxi drivers, even the police at one stage came and said, they've got a logo on the side of the white van. But it did go on for so long. There were so many people pulled in that it's the case that just sort of, nobody would ever have envisaged that it would be resolved after 20 plus years.
Yeah, you're not wrong, Alison. In hindsight, when we're seeing this doco, is there opportunities where we bungled this up?
I think this documentary, from all accounts and from the awesome reviews that it has received, is that it's been meticulously handled, and it's mainly from the point of view of the painstaking forensic work done behind the scenes by the police that nobody was aware of. Everybody had moved on after a couple of years. Nobody knew that they were still testing, using the latest technology as it came up to try to find out who they did. And then, of course, they linked it in the end.
And they got it?
Through police log work, yes.
Yeah. Were you living in Claremont at the time of this, Alison?
Yeah, I still am.
Yeah, right.
You just can't. I mean, it's my local shopping centre, and of course it's changed all now. But you just can't think. I was just saying to someone, look, it happened over there, Club Bayview. You know, the building is still there where the girls walked up and down. It was such a trusting area. It was mainly a schooling. Collegian type atmosphere. Everybody knew everybody. All the private schools were in the area. The university, everybody felt very safe there. It was your local neighbourhood.
Yeah, and so always the Thursday night where the Claremont would be pumping, and then you go to Club Bayview.
Oh, exactly. It was just like a standard thing that everyone did. And you're talking about like being in a trusted area as well. I mean, when we found out, about Bradley Edwards. When we found out, and then suddenly you saw all of the things, and he was rooted in the community and all that sort of stuff, it just sort of, that really freaked me out. I was just like, wow, somebody that is that connected.
Yep.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah.
Totally. And of course, you wouldn't have given him a second look.
No.
Clean shaven guy. The guy who's just sort of you've seen around the nightclub area, and he was their age. So that was the case. You just didn't. It wasn't like a bikie or something that you think, oh God, you think it was just a very ordinary looking guy, and he was an ordinary person. I mean, I sat next to him virtually in that whole trial.
Did you?
He didn't. It was like a cardboard cutout.
Really?
He just didn't move, didn't express anything. Did not change, like an automaton. It's unbelievable.
You know, very interesting then, because we see the photos of him and we followed the story of his conviction just recently, but I never thought about the age of him being a young man at the time.
Oh, no, because you're looking at him now and you're putting that crime to who he is now. Yeah, you're right, Sean.
No, he was just mid-20s, late 20s.
Yeah,
just another one to die. Just
another guy.
And then,
and then also I was thinking as well, his family that have been he's been living with this secret for so long, and his family have been there, and just to have someone like that in your life and not realise they had done this horrendous thing that the whole world was talking about, just the ramifications for not just him but everyone around him was just so extreme. So, Alison, tonight's episode, what are we gonna be highlighting?
I've only seen a couple of clips of this. Yep. I haven't seen the whole thing, but I've just gone on the reviews that usually are quite awesome, actually, from the Sydney side publicist. But I'm told it's done in just a really responsible, meticulous way. There's no sensational aspects to it. There's no dramatisation. They've just handled it very, very well. It's done by a local production company, joined up, and that's who I did it with about a year ago. I mean, a year ago, right through the trial, everybody was creating such interest that we were doing sort of interviews morning, noon and night with producers of every kind, podcasts, the whole lot. So this is a local production who obviously sold it on to Channel 10, or was funded by Channel 10.
Good stuff, mate.
So,
awesome. Well, an honour talking to you, Alison Fan.
Thanks,
You're amazing. Thank you so much.
Thank you, guys.
Good on you,
Thank you very much.
It's time to stop putting off your trips and start celebrating summer with an amazing getaway.
Whatif.com has all kinds of accommodation options all around Oz.
Check them out on the What If app.
What if it's Aussie for travel? We've got Tracey Vo. She's here this all morning.
Hello. It's been fun.
Yes.
So far.
You guys were together on the weekend.
We were, Sean. We're having the best time ever.
know.
So at Greg High's Rise Up Gala ball, which happens every year, where he raises really much needed funds for A Stitch in Time, which is his mental health for youth charity. It's just does an amazing job.
Yep.
And the whole concept of it is they get celebrity waiters. And so there was Tracey, myself, Luke Jackson, Tony Gallardi,
Luke Shuey, Peter Bowl, Ricky Grace,
all right,
Olivia Vivian,
Blair Evans,
and a stellar lineup,
a
stellar lineup, and every year we have to get briefed about what's happening throughout the night, and because we've got people that are assigned to us, that are our point people,
like a team captain.
Yes,
so we were split into two teams.
Yes,
yeah.
And straight away Tracey and I always.
Well, you grab my hand.
Yeah, I grab your hand.
You're coming with me. You're coming with me.
Safety. Safety with Trace.
And you got to understand, right? So it's the Grand Ballroom in Crown Towers, right? So it's quite a huge venue.
Yes.
And Greg's charity's become so successful that there are just tables everywhere. It is absolutely
sold out.
packed.
It was sold out. Yeah.
So then they get it's like a sports team, I'm guessing, Sean, where they've pulled open a folder and they've got a map of the grounds.
Okay, yeah.
Said,
So there's all the table numbers.
Yeah.
Yep.
So they said, okay, so our team, we're on this side, and we're going to be, and instead of just drawing a line straight down the middle, it was sort of staggered, wasn't it? It was weird.
zigzag, and it was like a maze.
Yes.
I was like, where are you pointing to?
Yeah.
I don't know which table I'm going to.
Yes, and then they were just throwing out table numbers like 53, like we knew where it was. And they're going, okay, so we're going to start at 53 and rah, and all this sort of stuff. And a lot's happening. So we're just trying to, okay, what's going on? Because, it's very confusing. And then our team captain said, don't worry, just look for me.
Oh, that's good.
Out in the crowd. I'll have my hand up waving and you just come to where I am if you get lost. And we said, no worries. Tracey Vo, how tall are you?
I'm 5'2".
How tall do you think our team leader was?
Probably 5 foot.
So you didn't have Aaron Sandilands out there going, hey, come over here, take me down the ball.
I know.
So we're out. We're like, we've all gotten lost straight away, and we're looking for her, and no one can find her.
We started following the other team captain. He's like shooing us away. No, you're not on my team.
It was like, where's Wally? It was worse than where's Wally because Wally wasn't there.
Just look for me.
And then suddenly, someone goes, oh my God, I've seen her. And she is standing on her tippy toes with her hand right up in the air with a folder in her hand, waving a folder at us, and still was not taller than that was not taller than anybody else there.
The poor love.
Oh.
But she always had a pleasant smile on her
lovely.
face.
She was lovely.
I think she found it comical because we literally got 2 plates in our hands of trying to feed people, these poor hungry people who paid to come to this charity event. And she's just like, we're just scouring the room. Going, where do we go? Like stunned mullets.
Literally lost trying to find her. And you know what? She was lovely. She had a great attitude.
Yeah.
She organised us really well. But but to be the point person in the crowd, I don't think that she was the right person for the job.
I love that. That's funny.
That's what I want to talk about. 13, 24, 10. I want to talk about size, right?
Yep.
So when you weren't the right size for your job. My brother always wanted to be a flight attendant, and he couldn't be because he was too tall.
That was me.
Really?
Back in the day, before I went into media, I wanted to be a flight attendant, and I was too short. And I get it because I struggle trying to put.
But haven't they changed the rules now?
On the overhead, they have changed. They're a bit more relaxed these days.
Yeah.
So you could be a flight attendant now?
I could be now.
Yeah, because my brother was a little bit shorter than me, but I think it was anything over 5'10" or 5'11",
Wow.
or maybe 5'11" or something like that. Yeah, anything over that was too tall for a flight attendant. For
Too
some
tall?
reason. Too tall.
Oh, he was too
He was too tall.
Oh.
I know.
The other way around.
I
there
know.
you go.
You never think of tall as getting discriminated
No.
against, do you?
No.
But it happens quite a lot.
The Nathan, Nat and Sean podcast.
And we have been talking about when you might be the wrong size for a particular job. In honour of the waiter that was a point person for us at Greg High's charity dinner the other night, where Tracey and I, in a sea of people, couldn't see.
So she said to you, just look for me.
Just look for me.
But see, you're 6'3", Nathan,
Yeah.
so you can actually scour a crowd. But
Yeah.
I'm 5'2", so I was relying on you to be the eyes, and you can see her.
Yeah, I know. I couldn't see her. And Tracey, you are, what are you, 5?
I'm 5'2".
Yeah,
and
and
she was like 5 foot, I reckon.
What happened at your work?
Oh, yeah, so obviously TV, people think that I'm a lot taller. They see me in real life. You're really short, yes. I actually have a wooden box to stand on in the studio. Because Tomo's quite, he's tall, and Monica Koss is tall. Yes, to record certain updates through the day, I have to stand on a box because I'm too short.
So, because is it so they don't adjust the camera?
Or if the camera goes too low, it just looks ridiculous. It almost looks like I'm hitting the actual desk, the news desk. Like my head reaches.
Is there an official name for that box?
It's called the TiVo box.
It's called TiVo's box.
TiVo's box.
TiVo's box. You've heard it here first.
A lot of people have handled the box.
I'm sure they have. Michelle's in Joondalup. Hi, Michelle.
Morning.
Hi, Michelle. We're talking about being the wrong size for a particular job. What happened?
Yes. Well, I've actually got a couple of examples of this, which is maybe a little bit sad for me.
Oh.
The first example, my very first attempt to get a job, my cousin managed a local restaurant. And I was 16 and he was like, yep, come in, we'll get you back in the kitchen. You can just help with the dishes. And I was like, oh, that sounds great. Anyway, I'm 5 foot nothing, so I'm 152 centimetres, and basically the job was wash the dishes and put them away. Well, the put them away was above the counter, and even with the stool that they got me, I couldn't reach.
Michelle.
I feel your
I had
pain,
to just
Michelle.
wash the dishes. Yes, I had to just wash them and then stack them there for somebody else to do my job and put them up where I couldn't reach them.
Honey.
That was pretty bad. Yeah, and then the second example I have was I was actually lecturing to a bunch of third-year students at university, and it was back in the day when you used to have the VCRs, and I had to put a VCR on for the class.
Yes.
And I couldn't reach. It was up in the corner of the room, and I had to go and drag a chair.
Oh, my goodness.
To get the were you to drag a chair to put the VHS in the player?
I did. In front of the room full of Year 3 physics.
That would have been losing it.
Oh, honey.
Oh, Michelle.
You need a Michelle's box.
Yeah, Michelle's box. Let's get Michelle's box
A
out.
really big one.
Don't worry, you can get your hands on Tracy's box. Everyone has. Jason's in Miranda. Hey, Jace.
How are you going?
Good,
Hey,
Jace.
good,
We
Jace.
are talking about being the wrong size for a particular job. What happened?
Yes. So I was contracting work for Telstra. I'm a comms engineer looking after the tower comms patients for the towers.
Yep.
I'm average height, but I'm fairly broad in the shoulders
Yes.
in the sense of I used to race cars and I had to have a custom seat even to drive in that.
Oh, wow.
Trying to get through the comms tracks, I'd have to walk sideways. And because you're running a grounding cable, because electricity and all, I had to squat numerous times, ripped pants, just to try and get to the height of the control unit that I was meant to be working on.
Oh,
no
Jace.
way.
That's hardcore.
Wait there. So, like, you've got really big shoulders.
Yes.
What's that like?
Yeah.
I reckon I could shimmy my way through prison bars.
You weren't a swimmer in a past life,
Yeah.
Jace, that added some extra width.
No, did a lot of strength building.
Yeah, right.
Oh, that must be amazing to experience that. Do you know what, Jace? That might be a problem, but you got to be happy with it.
Yeah.
You got to be happy with that one, brother.
Nathan, Nat, and Sean.
Right now, we've been talking to people that are saying that they might have been the wrong size for a particular job.
I've been enjoying these stories. Damon's in Claremont. Good morning, Damon.
Morning.
Hey, Damon. All right, what was the job and what was wrong with the size?
So I went up to work on a mine site, and one of the jobs I had to do was go into the kitchen to assist,
Yep.
but not as a cook or anything, just to clean in the back and, put everything away.
Yeah.
Problem was, when I first got up there, they'd only just taken over. So they didn't have many outfits that were, ready for all this. So they tried to give me an outfit that would fit correctly, and I'm not a big man. I'm nothing. I weigh about 67 kilos. That's it.
Yeah.
So for chefs, you're looking 2XL and above.
And so you were swimming in an outfit they'd given to you, Damon. You're trying to do your job.
No, they decided it would be better if they gave me a female chef jacket. So that it could fit more snugly.
A bit more tailored to your size, Damon.
Yeah, it didn't fit.
Oh, no. Did it flare out at the hips?
It was a little bit too snug.
Oh, no. So either you're going to have way too big or way too small, and they chose way too small for you.
And they chose way too
Oh,
small.
shame.
Yep.
Oh, Damo.
Well,
So
you know
how
what?
long did you have to wear that for?
About 2 weeks before they actually got me something that fit.
Oh, no.
Damon.
Very uncomfortable job there for you.
Oh, you
But
know
a good
what?
laugh for us, Trace.
It is a sad day when they
Sorry,
look at you and you go,
David.
the only thing we can put you in is ladies.
I know. Here's a lady's gown for you.
Oh, thanks, buddy. Shelley's in Craigie. Hi, Shelley.
Good morning.
Hey,
Shell.
Shell. Talking about being the wrong size for a particular job. What happened?
Yeah, so when I was in my 20s, I used to work part-time at a men's formal wear shop where people come in to hire suits for their wedding or, their school ball or what have you. And I'm not huge. I'm about 5 foot 6'3", maybe.
Yep.
But it wasn't so much my height that was the problem. It was my arm span. So essentially we get some guys coming in and, you get all shapes and sizes because some of them wouldn't fit into kind of regular retail size suits.
Yeah.
So when you had to kind of measure their waist and their chest and their leg length, I'd have to literally excuse myself and say, I'm sorry, I need to give you a big cuddle here because I couldn't get my arms around their waist.
Shelley, did you have little
trousers.
do you have little T-Rex arms, did you?
I didn't. I don't think so, but maybe I do. And so it's perhaps just a little bit more intimate than your regular suit fitting.
How many belly buttons did you rub your face up against?
Too many. But, so they were all very, very lovely about it. But, you
They
kind
would
of
have
have
loved a cuddle, I'm sure, Shelley.
Yeah, and, little flick of the wrist to get the measuring tape from one arm to the next and really hope you get it the first time.
Poor thing.
Shelley
It was not easy.
Shelley at several weddings was worn as a cummerbund. It was quite weird. They actually hired her within the suit.
Yep. Hey, look, it's all part of the service. Yep.
Shelley. Well done.
Thanks, honey. Let's finish off with Nikki in South Perth. Hey, Nikki.
Hello, how are you?
Good, Nikki. What happened?
So I'm a radiographer, so I work with like X-rays and CTs and all the medical imaging side of things.
Yeah.
When I was on my very last day of work before going on mat leave, so I was probably about 8 months pregnant.
Yeah.
We were in one of our like operating areas, and we have to wear protective lead, to shield from the X-rays.
Yep.
So it's quite like a heavy like skirt and vest. I had to go into where we were doing the procedure, so it's a big sterile environment. You can't touch anything. And my X-ray machine was playing up, and where I need to fix it is down on the ground.
Yes.
So I've gone down on the ground to try to fix my machine, and I'm so pregnant and the lead is so heavy that I have gotten stuck on the ground. And I have not been able to get up. They had to stop the whole procedure on this patient.
Because you're pinned to the ground.
They literally can't do it without the X-ray to see what they're doing. So they've had to stop while a nurse has had to come in, lift me off the ground. It's like a beached whale. It was super embarrassing.
So, wait a minute, Nikki. If no one had been in that room, were you going to get up? Were you going to be able to get
I
up?
was just rolling around, on the ground, just like a dead fish. It was, it was mortifying.
Oh,
So Nikki ended up becoming the patient. Of
yeah,
the day.
I know.
I had a heart attack from sheer embarrassment.
Okay, that is brilliant.
You're listening to Nathan, Nat and Sean.
Tracey Vo filling in.
Hello.
Doing a great job.
Tracy's into the World Cup, and she said earlier on, Tracy used to watch it with your dad.
I did, waking up in the middle of the night. That was our treat back then. Although I called Dad last night to see if he was watching the Saudi Arabia-Argentina. No, he was out for dinner. I'm keeping up the tradition, Dad. Come on.
Would your dad put on a spread of food when you're up watching?
Not really. Dad's notorious. He's known for having a late night snack. He always has noodles.
There you
So,
go.
yeah, like the 2 minute, the 2 minute
The dad
noodles.
has
But he does
noodles.
it like in a fancy style, like putting some veggies.
Oh,
And
so he doesn't put the
whatever
beef sachet
protein he can
flavour
find.
powder in it?
He does actually, but he enhances it with more ingredients. Well, he was a chef.
Oh, there you go.
Wait,
Yeah.
how long was your dad a chef for?
Oh, he was a chef for an Italian restaurant for 20 years.
That would have confused a lot of people.
And we eat all the Vietnamese food at home, though. But it's never cooks it for anyone else.
That's amazing.
Everyone loves him for his spring rolls as well.
Yeah, right.
There
Yes.
you go. Were you watching the World Cup, Nate?
Yes.
No, I wasn't. I read an article. Let's not lie to the people.
You're watching a little bit this morning on TV.
Yes, I'm even going to stumble at saying this. Senegal?
Senegal, yep.
Senegal.
Okay, there you go. Senegal. So this name here, Sean. What's his name?
Oh,
Chikau
Koyate. Yeah. That's the
Chikau
Senegalese
Koyate,
name.
right? So this poor guy, he was stretchered off during the World Cup, right? Because he was hit in the testicles by one of the Netherlands players. Now, the Netherlands player, he had his hand out and just hit him right in the nuts. So it was
It happens.
It was
It
force
happens.
against force.
Yeah, you get that. That's going to happen.
Yes.
You're not happy with it, but you're happy.
No.
Yeah. The worst thing is when he landed, the guy that was hitting the nuts, when he landed, he also really badly twisted his ankle. And then I had to get stretchered off. So that's really unfortunate.
It is so unfortunate.
To have
Not just
two
one.
injuries from two different events happening at the same time.
That's because he's in mid-flight when he's in the air now, feeling the presence of being hit in the midsection, and then...
What do paramedics deal with first, I wonder?
Well, I mean, Sean.
It's the ankle. Because the paramedics aren't coming in and fondling your doodle, are they?
Yeah, and then once you get
protected.
and then once you get you behind closed doors, they quickly pull your pants and go.
Oh my God.
Just so
That's
it feels a bit better.
Yeah.
That's what your mum does, doesn't it?
Yeah, just blowing it. Yeah. That's what happened.
Sean, we're going to get that grab and play it forever.
Nathan, Nat and Sean in podcast form.
Right now we're talking about how bad a double whammy injury could be.
Trace, you just asked me about I should have one footy, and I remember, okay, here's a good one straight off the bat. I was running out of the back line with the ball and going as fast as I could. Wayne Carey was chasing me. Because he's a bigger guy, I was like, put the burners on, I'm out of here. And anyway, I end up doing a hamstring, like, when you're running along and then you're like, the hammy's gone. And then, so the hammy's gone, and he caught me within about 4 strides and smashed my head into the ground.
So your hammy then your head. Which was worse?
Oh, definitely my head. Oh. Yeah, absolutely. Once he drilled me into the ground, that wasn't much fun.
Yeah, lucky I had no permanent damage. No. Rhonda's in Chittering. Hi, Rhonda.
Hi, how you going?
Good, Rhonda. We're talking about 2 injuries happening basically at the same time, and which one was worse? What happened with you?
I've got 3 injuries.
3? Oh, trifecta. Love up. What happened?
So I exercise racehorses.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And the horse that I was riding was running against another one, and it tripped and fell. As it fell, it brought its head up and hit me in the head.
Oh, I see.
Knocked me out, gave me a concussion.
Okay, so number 1 is head butted by a horse. Yeah.
Oh, my goodness.
Yep.
And then as I fell off, I came to and tried to hold, pretty much land, and I put my hand out and broke my wrist.
Oh.
And then I got run over by the horse that was behind me, and it broke my leg.
One behind you.
Well, it does. What's the
Things
saying?
coming
Comes
through.
threes. Sorry, Rhonda. Oh my goodness!
Rhonda,
I love that you
okay.
can talk about it in a very pleasant way.
I know. You know why? Because she's survived.
I know.
Rhonda,
Wow.
so head butted by a horse, broke a wrist, and then trampled by a horse. Which was worse out of the 3?
Definitely the leg. There was a femur broken in 3 places.
Oh, God.
Wow.
That was a tough day at the office there, Rhonda.
How was the
really was.
recovery after that, Rhonda?
2 weeks in hospital, painkillers for probably about 4 months, and then learning how to use my leg again with pins and rods and everything else in it.
Yeah, they have that kind of bird cage around the bottom of your leg, don't they?
Yeah.
Yeah.
How do you
Yeah, it makes doing things very, very hard.
Do you still deal with racehorses?
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
For the love.
Oh my gosh, for the love.
So wait there, when you've got one of those bird cages around your legs, how do you put your knickers on?
That's actually a
You
really
get
good question.
special ones that've got little snap buttons on the side.
Oh.
Almost like a nappy.
There you go, like
Not a
snap
nappy.
crutch knickers.
Yes.
What are you
Pretty much like an adult
They're the ones
nappy,
that you wear, aren't they, Trace?
I say nothing.
No, you told me, so you can get them up really quickly. Thank you, Rhonda. That was crazy. Let's go to Sarah in Wattle Grove. Hey, Sarah.
Hi, morning, guys.
Hi, Sarah.
Sarah. We're talking about double whammy injuries, or perhaps triple or quadruple. What do you got?
Well, a bit hard to beat that one. No, I had double, or unless you count the concussion as the third one. So when I had COVID this May, I got up in the middle of the night to go to the bathroom, and I ended up fainting. And I've never fainted in my life.
Yes.
But I fainted on the bathroom tile.
Oh.
And so I broke my nose. I woke up in a pool of blood. And I also broke a bone in my hand. And I was concussed.
Oh, wow.
And I needed to go in an ambulance to the hospital.
So, okay, so number 1, she's got COVID, right?
Yeah.
And then she faints. And then she hits the tiles, breaks her nose and breaks a bone in her hand and wake up in a pool of blood. That is everyone's nose. The only way that could be worse is you're naked.
I know you always mention that, but because you wake up and you don't know why you're in that situation.
No.
Yes.
Like someone
And then,
could be standing over the top.
Oh
of you.
yeah,
That's
sure,
right.
straight away. And like you
Wow.
know, if I was ever naked, I'd use all my strength just to be able to put a flannel over my doodle.
Reaching for the towel.
yeah.
Oh my God,
Well,
Sarah.
yeah, I was actually on the toilet. So when I fainted, I did have to pull up my
Oh,
You
yeah.
did. Oh, you did pull them up, or you didn't get a chance to pull them up?
didn't get a chance. I
my
woke up
goodness.
and then
They were around your ankles.
Please tell me you'd finished your business, or or
yeah, I think so.
okay, I
Wow.
think so. Sure. Okay.
Oh, that's the worst.
No,
You will
wanna-
find every
so bad.
ounce of strength to be
All
able to
I
pull your
ask
pants
is
up.
when
Yes.
I've got no clothes on, just to be fully conscious. That's all
Oh,
I
my
ever ask.
goodness.
Thank you, Sarah.
Sarah.
Let's finish off with Debbie in Secret Harbour. Hi, Deb.
Hi, how you going?
Well,
Good,
a
Deb.
bit shocked by these. They're great. What have you got for us?
Well, we've just moved into a new house and we heard this almighty noise coming, well, we didn't know where, and my hubby gets up, stark naked, runs out towards the garage because that's where the noise was coming,
Yep.
and forgot that this house had a stainless steel security fly screen door. Face, like, whacked his face straight into the thing, and he's got a huge honker.
Yeah.
So all the skin off his nose, it was like embedded in the stainless steel.
Like a grater.
Yeah, like a grater. He grated his nose.
Yeah.
But with the force he was running,
Yeah.
it flicked him back, and he hit his bank, cracked his head on the tile. And all I could do was, my instant reaction was I was peeing myself laughing, and then he was so cranky with me.
Yeah.
I was nearly wetting myself laughing, and all it ended up being was the garage door was chucking a whammy and going up and down.
Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah, that happens.
So
Oh.
he's got a cracked head, a grated nose,
Oh my God.
and I nearly peed myself. So.
And is darling wife laughing her head off at him? There hits a note. Does Megan laugh at you now that you're you get hurt now, or does she still care?
God,
Does she
no,
still
I don't
care?
think she care. No, I don't think she cares at all.
This is a podcast of Nathan, Nat, and Sean.
Tracey Vo is in the house.
Happy hump day.
I've got something very exciting for you coming up. You two, you haven't had breakfast yet.
No, we haven't. But before we do that, Nath, we're going to get stuck in to see what the weather's about and the traffic. Today, 26 degrees. Not too bad, actually. It really got nasty yesterday afternoon. We didn't think it would, but it really did. 23 tomorrow. The weekend's looking like could be a bit dodgy on Friday, but again, Saturday, it's looking pretty good.
Shawnee, I've got to
Scott?
officially press this stuff. You got to do that again. Sorry, 1 sec.
I think that's on you.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Let's establish the blame board this morning. Who are we blaming
you,
that
Ross.
one? Okay,
I think
votes.
straight
Is
off
that
the song,
okay?
it
Who
should've
votes
just
for
been
Ross's
boom.
fault? Who votes for Sean's fault? All right, Ross's fault.
I'm going to go with Ross. You can put your hands up. It's radio.
Sean's fault.
Yep.
Okay, that is
Amy!
that is 4 people to 2 people.
Well, the song finished, mate. That's how it works. Boom, straight in.
Are you saying Ross is too slow?
Exactly. Press the buttons.
Too
in.
slow.
Scott, what's going on in the traffic?
One to Sean.
Sean, there's been a truck breakdown on the Tonkin Highway northbound. That's just before Reed Highway in Bennett Springs. The left turn lane is blocked there. Over on the freeways, it's a little bit slow moving. Ocean Reef Road on the Mitchell, and then over on the Kwinana, slow Mortimer Road through to Ankertel Road. Anything else, call 9489 1777. Bob Jane T-Mart's Black Tyre and Wheel Sale is back. Get up to 25% off selected tyres and up to 15% off select wheels. Hurry, ends November 30. T's and C's apply.
Oh, Sean loves a black tyre event, don't you, Sean?
I certainly do.
Yeah.
Yep. And I'll accept that first score to Sean. And I'm happy to move on.
Nathan, Nat, and Sean podcast.
But
You've
Tracey,
got a surprise for us, mate.
Yeah, I'm scared. I just hear like this tapping of the glass through the brakes and stuff. So I'm just that.
Well,
I'm worried.
We're all proud Aussies, aren't we?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Absolutely.
if there's one thing we love, it's this. We love Vegemite.
We do.
We love
do.
Vegemite.
I do. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So you
yes.
got-
Do you love Vegemite on a crumpet?
Actually, didn't you have that for dinner last night?
I had crumpets for dinner last night.
Did you?
Tracy spoke to Tracy on the phone. What did you have?
I said, I had some lovely chicken thighs in the oven, and a bit of salad. And then
She goes, what did you have?
I
said,
had 3 crumpets.
And the worst thing is I had 3 crumpets, right? And then I smelled this beautiful smell coming from my neighbours. And then I was like, are you kidding me? And then they're cooking. And you know what it is? You can tell it's couple food. Because couples try. Whereas
not my house, mate.
Oh, no.
I can guarantee that. One of us tries, the others don't.
Well, okay, so this guy, right, his dad was working on a building site,
Yep.
all right, and he found a jar of Vegemite from 90 years ago.
Oh, wow.
90-year-old Vegemite, and it's amazing. So it's got an original
How
label
wrinkly
on
was
there.
the jar?
And then on the back of it, it had some suggestions.
Right.
It says use in sandwiches, of course, we do that.
Yep.
Soups, we know people use it in soups and
Yes.
stews.
Do they?
It says,
Okay. Wow.
yeah, stews and gravies. You can put it in gravies.
Okay.
Genitals.
Yep, and genitals.
Remember that time you tried that thing?
Yeah,
you
Sean, I know. It's delicious.
I'm going to stay quiet on that one.
And then there was this suggestion. 1/2 to 1 teaspoon in a glass of hot milk makes a nourishing beverage.
A nourishing beverage.
That is so
So we're
wrong.
going to try some Vegemite and some warm milk that you're dishing
Who
up
would
now.
come up with that?
Can we
I
just-
wonder.
Someone 90 years ago.
I know.
Trace, I've got something in common with you.
Yes.
What's that to do with milk?
We just we're lactose
Intolerant.
intolerant. So, Nate, I think you're probably going to do the show for the rest of the morning.
Me and Tracy being the
That
dunny.
looks so gross. Oh,
Trace, many
It
years.
looks like, can I just say right now, it looks like Bailey's and milk.
it does. Oh, thanks, Amy. Yeah, she's like.
Yeah. All right, guys. Well,
She's
you
like
know what?
gagging us
I
like-
just say we have to respect our forefathers
whoa.
because this is.
Oh, you can smell this Vegemite.
I know.
But imagine if you can just smell Vegemite, but you can taste it with milk. This is gonna be okay. Ready?
Yeah,
Okay, guys.
yep.
Ready?
Couldn't you bring almond milk?
Ready?
Oh, that is so
I don't know,
gross.
just warm Vegemite milk. I don't know.
It's salty
It's not
milk.
that bad.
I'm not drinking anymore.
Ross, it's not as bad as what you
No,
think.
I don't know,
I mean, it's not
Ross.
that you want to do
Actually,
it.
what kind of milk is this?
That's some full fat.
Full cream. Yeah, it
full
doesn't. Well, it takes away the.
Yeah.
You know when you can.
Ross, what do you think of
full
that?
cream milk, you're
Yeah.
a bit
I know what
stressed
happens.
out.
I don't know what.
No,
Look, I don't know why you would do it, but it's not as bad as what you think
A
it's going to
nourishing
be.
meal?
no, that was
Amy,
bitter.
did you hand us wipes just in case there was an accident here?
She was gagging when she
She
gave it.
left wipes next to me.
And if you look on the floor as well,
It's
just
not
near
for
your
our
chair,
mouth.
look on the floor just near your chair, there's adult nappies. Good luck for the rest of the show, guys.
The Nathan, Nat and Sean podcast.
Well, we were hoping that the Socceroos wouldn't have been able to get run over so easily in the second half. We might have been able to keep it close. Perhaps a draw would have been a great result for Australia in this one against France, but it wasn't to be. Robbie Slater, of course, being a former Socceroo and absolute champion of Australian sport, joins us now. Robbie, what was you thinking?
I was depressed by the end of it.
But right at the start, that was a bit of fun, wasn't it, Robbie?
And they gave us such hope early on. But, yeah, look, guys and girls, we were just beaten by a far better side. That's why they're the world champions. And you can look at it whichever way you want. It's actually not very complicated. Yes, you can pick out whether the coach got it right tactically, whether the selections were right, whether the substitutions were right. But when you look at France and you think that they're down at minimum 4 world-class players in Kimpembe, in Conte, in Pogba and Benzema,
Yeah.
they have world-class replacements. And then not only that, they bring players off the bench in the second half that play for Bayern Munich and Barcelona. I'm sorry, but we've got players that play for Central Coast Mariners.
It's like bringing a knife to a gunfight, is it?
I feel sorry
Like,
for the
it's
Central
just the
Coast
reality,
Mariners
I
now.
But yeah, we love the Mariners.
Yes, we do. Well, Robbie, I made a point with Sean earlier, like 17 odd players from the Socceroos, where it was their first sort of go on the world stage. So, I mean, the pressure that they would have felt would have been immense, especially their first match up against the world champs, as you said, which is France.
Yeah, and look, the bonus for Australia is that they're still in it because the other two teams, Denmark drew with Tunisia. If Denmark had won, you would have been really concerned. And we're still really concerned. But up against France, they just showed why they're the world champions. Mbappe showed why he is quite possibly the best player. Well, not possibly. He is, in my opinion, the best player in the world at the moment. And, you know, they just had a team of superstars that played really well. Like when you get an upset, when you want to upset a team like this, you need two things. You need a bit of luck, and you need the team to be off. Now, Saudi Arabia got that with Argentina. Argentina were not at the races, and Saudi Arabia took full advantage and pulled off an amazing win, which they actually deserved. There was no luck in it. Adel Wasari scored a wonderful second goal, and what a result for them. But for us, we come up against the world champion team in world champion form. They weren't off their game. They were well on it.
Funny they were off. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And what
if only they were off like an off French cheese. They got a lot of off French cheeses.
And on French cheese,
and I know because I lived there for 5 years.
And it's fromage, by the way, fromage.
Fromage, oui.
Are the French? Are they nice winners, or are they those smug French winners? What are they?
Well, ben, les Français, ils sont très arrogants. Quand ils gagnent, ils sont comme ça. Et pour les Australiens, c'est un peu comme le fromage.
There you go, with cheese. I heard a word might have been arrogant in there. Was there an arrogant word in there?
There was an arrogant word in there, and it was the French, have made a history of being arrogant. So,
oh my God! The only thing I know is no monsieur not knows that PTM is A in calcium and A in protein. That's a PTM. That's my French.
I love it. But look, we're still in it. But we did. We got a big lesson in football this morning from a very, very good side that. Yeah, they're one of the favourites. Not Brazil are the favourite, but France are right up there as well. And they could go back to back. The last three World Cup winners, have not got out of the group stage. I think that little curse is going to be put to bed here with Tunisia, Denmark drawing. I think France are already a shoo-in to qualify for the next round, particularly when goal difference will count.
Do you think, looking forward though, Robbie, past this World Cup, that we've got a chance? There doesn't seem to be the names we've had. We've talked about the golden generation for a long time with that.
Well, the golden generation is over. It's well over a decade ago.
Yeah. So have we fallen short somewhere?
Yeah, we have. I was just having this conversation actually before you guys rang. We don't have the time to discuss it, but the development in this country has gone literally pear-shaped. And it has done. We have not produced players. We haven't produced players for over a decade because we've got it wrong from the system we have in place at the moment. From too much structure, too much training of young children, taking the fun out of the game, playing 12 months a year, and it's like I said, we could go into it, but we just don't have the time.
But that's when you look at it as big business, don't you? Instead of looking at it as like, grassroots and getting kids involved, looking at a big business and what the possibility is. That's when
or long-term view of it.
The kids are, when I grew up, and the golden generation is the same, we're all born in the old NSL.
Yes, you were.
Those players all played in the NSL. And you know what we did as kids? We played like all Aussies do, we were encouraged to play other sports.
Yep.
Now kids are told they're not allowed to play other sports. I'm sorry, it's un-Australian.
Yep. Wow. And I'm pretty sure that TikTok's got something to do with it.
Oh, there's no doubt that bloody TikTok. I've got an 8-year-old and she's just TikToks.
That's all.
That's all.
No other way of communicating.
That's taking up too much of their time, Robbie, probably. TikTok.
Don't even
give them a football, I say. Swap the TikTok.
Respect the TikTok. I'm sorry, but I'm a dinosaur.
No, we love it.
Well, but, look, the thing is, if you look at it, and I know we've got to go, but I said to someone earlier today, and if you look at the team today, and you go back to the team that took place in Germany in 2006, even 2010 South Africa, there's not one player from this team that would maybe even make the bench of that squad.
Oh, wow.
And that's how far down we've come.
Well, Robbie, thanks very much for your insight. Really appreciate your time.
Sorry, I've really given you an update.
No, we had some great moments in there. You talked about fromage. It was great.
Listen, apart from that, everything's going smooth.
Everything's great. Everything's great.
Well, we'll be following the Socceroos the next play Saturday against Tunisia. Plenty of other games to be watching. You'll be watching it all. And, Robbie, we know you're flat out, as I said before, but thank you so much for giving up your time to talk to us this morning.
No worries, guys. Might speak to you next week again.
Good on you, mate. Love
Bye,
to.
Robbie.
Bye. This is Nathan, Nat and Sean.
Well, let's kick off with the World Cup, of course. Australia in action this morning, got underway at 3 a.m. I didn't get up until about, 3:45, I think, because I missed the first half of us, which we scored straight away. Craig Goodwin. So I was able to see that at the half time, but after that, it was pretty much one-way street with the French getting on top of us. Trace, you're a big fan of watching the World Cup stuff.
I am. I used to wake up in the middle of the night with Dad. Dad's a big, he would wake me up. That was the only time I could get up at 3 a.m. or 4 a.m. Dad would wake me up. Well, let's watch the soccer together, or football together. So, no, it's lovely, but it's a shame. I mean, God, really. Socceroos against France.
I know.
You know what, though?
They've never had a chance.
At least everyone on social media had that one moment where they can go, wow, oh my God, this is happening. And it's like, well, it's not. But that was great.
Yeah, you're right, because we scored in the 9th minute, and then we gave... The thing is, and when you're watching a great team versus a team that are trying, but they just don't have the skill level, we gave them two really easy opportunities with basic skill errors. If you're watching any sport and you see someone miss a handball and it hits the ground, you go, oh, God, how did he do that? They're supposed to be professionals. Yep. That's kind of what happened with the Socceroos, Nath, before half-time. Yeah. And the French were able to score pretty quickly. After half-time, it was one-way traffic. It was like we sat up against the ropes in a boxing fight and then just waited them punches in the face.
Wasn't it like 17 of them making their debut, on the world stage, really? So, I mean...
17 of who?
Of the team, of the Socceroos.
Yeah.
That's like being on the freeway and you're surrounded by L plates.
Pretty much.
Oh, my God.
They probably got really so starstruck by playing against France. They're like, oh, wow.
Well, yeah, but at the end of the day, you've got to keep attacking all the time, and it's one thing we didn't do. I was listening to Craig Foster after the game. He was covering some of the action for SBS, and this is what he had to say.
And we come out in the second half and just, and the pattern of the game was exactly the same. So at what point are we going to go up now, start to press them? You obviously needed those fresh legs on the wings in particular, as you saw, which ultimately happened with Cole and Mobile. And all of a sudden, you're down 3-1, and then you're down 4-1, and really the game is over. Yeah.
Can I just say, I love sports talk. Fresh legs on the wings.
We were really carved on the wing.
It really sounds like a great new special at KFC.
No, you're right. There was a guy called Atkins who was playing on our left wing, was just getting carved up massively. Every time the French went down that side, and it was Mbappe who was just getting past him, and then whoever else would come in behind, and it was just looking like they were going to score time and time again, and they eventually did. So we're down and out at this stage.
Yeah. Are you having a bet on at all during the World Cup?
You know what happens if I get involved?
I know. Whole teams die. Trace?
Yeah, well, because last night, obviously, Saudi Arabia, Argentina, biggest upset of the World Cup by far. I don't even know if it'll happen again, like as the tournament goes on. An Aussie bloke was so sure of Argentina, $160,000 that he put the bet down to Argentina, but it wasn't paid. It was like $1.13.
Oh,
so he was only going to gain about $20,000 anyway if Argentina won.
Oh, that's the people who like to wash their money a particular way, that they go down that way.
Oh, is that money laundering?
Yeah.
Yes.
But you're going, we're not going to lose this because Argentina are always going to beat Saudi Arabia, Nath, on paper. But watching the game last night, Trace, first of all, I would just say the crowd was going ballistic in the second half. All the the Arabs who were following Saudi Arabia in that stadium were going. The noise was unbelievable. And secondly, getting back to the way Australia played against the French this morning, Saudi Arabia were having shots. They were going. They were really going for it. They were really throwing the punches, so to speak, and it's something we need to take a leaf out of their book.
Yeah, there were a few moments where Argentina had an opportunity, I found, towards the second half, but they just totally missed it, even in overtime. So,
yeah, they certainly
unfortunate.
Well, in my analysis, we just need more fresh legs on the wings.
$160,000.
Sean, I couldn't. Like that is, you don't for that payout, you don't take that risk, do you?
Well, I wouldn't.
I wonder.
I make some
people.
stupid bets,
People
but
do it.
People do it.
I
mate.
wonder what they do.
I've seen it in the cricket
They're
a few
so,
times.
Yes, they're so sure of it.
Yep.
Oh my god, that would give me
Big
anxiety.
money. Oh yes,
All
no,
right. Well,
too
that
much.
just seems like a classic Sean McManus bet. So.
It does.
Was it you?
Yeah.
I normally have a bit more.
Nathan, Nat and Sean is a Nova podcast. For more great comedy shows like this, head to novapodcasts.com.au.